Hi everyone, welcome to our first video lesson for Group Piano 2. I'm going to go over just really briefly what these videos are about, how you're going to use them. If you were in Group Piano 1, you probably know the drill, but a little bit of a refresher and sort of an introduction for those of you who are just joining us in Group Piano 2. So we're going to be going through in this video the content that is on your weekly video assignment. So I'll go over what it is that you're going to need to turn in, and I will of course demonstrate that content for you. And most of it will be from the weekly unit. So in Group Piano 2 we're starting in our Alfred's Group Piano for Adults, Book 1. We're starting in Unit 14. So we did the first 13 units in Group Piano 1, and we're going to do the second 13 units in Group Piano 2. And so I will go through, most of the assignments that you're going to have are going to be from that weekly unit, but if there's some things like chord progressions and stuff that are from another unit, I will also, of course, introduce those so that you can prepare for your assignment. I will play through also all of the content in each weekly unit, even though that won't all be due as part of your video assignment. That would be crazy. That would be a lot to do. But I really do encourage you to practice those items and don't just play the things that are due for the assignment. And why? I mean, obviously, I think that playing piano is great, and I would love for you to get really good at it and, be a great pianist. But it's sort of like, okay, I'm busy. Like, I have stuff to do, and I don't have time to just, spend all my time playing piano. And I totally get that. And the thing is that playing the other content from the unit, even the stuff that's not going to be due, is going to help you to be a better pianist. And being a better pianist is going to help you do your assignments more easily and to a higher degree of quality and all these kind of things. I kind of like to think about it, and clearly I'm a fitness expert, obviously. Like if you were going to the gym or something and you had a goal to be able to squat 8,000 pounds, because that's a reasonable goal. It wouldn't be a waste of time to do other exercises besides just squatting. You're going to want to strengthen your legs using other exercises and also strengthen other parts of your body to be able to perform this exercise. And it's kind of the same thing with piano. If you practice the other things that are in the unit, you don't have to perfect them or anything because it's not due for an assignment. It's going to help you to be able to do a lot better on your actual assignments and make it a lot easier to play those things. If you are only doing the one reading exercise that's required, it's probably going to take you a long time to read through that reading exercise. And the whole point of this class is not that, I just really like watching people perform harmonizations, so I just want you to do that. No, the whole point is that you're going to build a set of skills that will actually be useful to you at some point. And it's a less useful skill for you to be able to sit down and, spend 4 hours to play one harmonization, and you can get it right, but it's a much more useful skill if you can read music and perform music on the piano easily. So that's my spiel. Okay, so we will jump in. With these videos, feel free to watch the whole thing, practice along. That's great. If you don't need the video for certain things, that's fine, no problem. What I would definitely encourage you is watch this video before you email your instructor with questions. Definitely use this as a resource. That's why I'm making them. Again, I do have fun doing this, but it's not, I'm not just doing it because it's fun. I'm doing it to hopefully save some time and give you a resource to use throughout the semester. So do watch this video if you have questions about something. If you are not sure if you're doing something right, use this as a reference. That would be a good plan. So with that, I will go ahead and just jump right in, and we're going to start in Unit 14. Actually, we're not going to start in Unit 14. We're going to start with the chord progression that you need to do, the minor chord progression at the top of page 210. So that's actually over in the next unit, but that is part of this week's assignment. And that is the, okay, so basically it's on page 210. It's the minor chord progression, and there are two different styles of this. There is sort of a style that is both hands playing the exact same thing. See, my right hand and my left hand are playing the exact same chords. And then there's the other style where you can just play the bass note. And I am fine with you doing either version. It may seem like doing just the bass note is easier, but you have to do something different with your left hand than your right hand. And I think that the bottom one with just the bass note is actually a little bit more musical. I think it sounds pretty nice to do just that bass note. It sounds a little bit more like we would expect to hear something in a piece. So you could do either the one at the top with both hands playing the exact same notes, or you could do it the one at the bottom where you have the left hand note just playing one note, just playing the root of the chord. And we're going to be playing it this week in the keys of C minor, G minor, and D minor. The most important thing with this one is to remember that the 5 chord is major. So you have to raise the 7th. So for example, you can see here they have the A minor listed. You would put a G sharp in there. For D minor, you're going to put a C sharp on the 5/7 chord. For E minor, you're going to put a D sharp on the 7th chord. That is pretty important. It's wrong if you do not put that in there. So make sure that you get that. That will lose points if it's not major 5 chord. So do be careful with that. So I'm going to go ahead and just perform the chord progression in C, G, and D. I'm going to do the one at the bottom with just that bass note. Again, it's pretty easy. If you want to change it and do the one at the top, you just play both hands the exact same. So we're going to start in C minor. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 4, 1, 5/7, B natural. 1. Okay, and then let's go to G minor. Here we go. Ready, go. 1, 4, 1, 5/7. Watch for the F sharp. Back to 1. And now to D minor. Ready, go. 1, 4, 1, C sharp on the 5/7, 5/7, 1. That's it. Pretty straightforward and simple. So that's the only piece of the assignment for this week that is not from the Unit 14. So we will hop back over to Unit 14, and we are going to be learning our minor scales first in tetrachord position here. That means where you play the first 4 notes with your left hand, and then the second 4 notes with your right hand. So if you look over on page 184, they're showing you how to do the A minor scale, starting with the A with your left hand finger 5, and you're going to play A, B, C, D with your left hand, and then E, F, G, A with 2, 3, 4, 5 of your right hand. So you would just play it like this: left hand 5, 4, 3, 2, right hand 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, left hand 2, 3, 4, 5. And doing the A minor scale there, that's natural minor. There's no black keys. And the natural minor scale uses only the notes of the relative major. So the relative major of A is C. So you're only going to use the notes of the C major scale just starting and ending on A. So that would be all white keys for A minor. For a harmonic minor scale, same exact finger pattern. This time I'll say the note names, and we're going to bring our right hand finger 4 up to G sharp. So for the harmonic minor scale, we raise the 7th a half step. Both times, ascending and descending. So fingers are the exact same, so I'm just going to say the note names, okay? Ready, go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, G sharp, F, E, D, C, B, A. Okay, so the melodic minor scale, I feel like the easiest way to think about it is that it's major on the way up and it's minor on the way down. So on the way up, you raise both the 6th and the 7th. That would be F sharp and G sharp. And then on the way down, you lower those notes again. So on the way down, it's G natural and F natural. Okay, so because the fingers are the exact same, once again, I'm just going to say the note names for this one. All right, ready, go. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G natural, F natural, E, D, C, B, A. All right, so then you're going to go ahead and on the other page over here, you're going to write out, this would be really, really helpful if you feel like you do not quite know the notes of your minor scales. You're going to write the letter names on the correct keys to form a harmonic minor scale for each. So you start with just the natural minor. So just figure out what is the relative major. I'm just going to be using the notes that are in that relative major key signature. You're going to write out your scale, and then to make it harmonic, all you have to do is raise the 7th by 1/2 step, okay? So I would definitely recommend that. It will be really helpful for you to go ahead and fill that in. Okay, so we are going to now do this playing the harmonic minor scales in tetrachord position with the accompaniment pattern that is here. And we're going to stop on G sharp minor because functionally we do not play songs in D sharp minor. At that point, we just call it E flat minor. It's really complicated to read it in D sharp minor. Same thing for A sharp minor. We just call that B flat minor. So we're going to stop on the G sharp minor because functionally that's really the last key that we worry about playing in terms of sharps. So I'll start with A minor, and then basically, notice here's the pattern. You're going to play hold right hand, so just playing that harmonic minor scale with that rhythm, and then there's a 2-measure modulation in the teacher part, okay? I cannot play the accompaniment and say anything out loud while you're doing the scales. So I have tried this, trying to say your finger numbers out loud, and I end up confusing myself and by association, you watching this when I try to do that because I end up saying the finger numbers very wrong. So I will probably try to kind of maybe like keep the count going a little bit, maybe count a little bit here and there, and I will definitely let you know when it's about to modulate, and so that you know that we're about to move on to the next key. It's a pretty simple rhythm, and it's a pretty simple scale pattern to do it in the tetrachord position. I don't feel like that's really that challenging. So just play along. And again, we're going to stop before it gets too crazy. G sharp minor is still it's a little bit crazy, but we'll stop before it gets too out of control. And so we will go ahead and get going with the A minor to start with, and notice it's just going through circle of fifths here. So I will count us in, and we will play through, and we'll just stop at G sharp minor. All right. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's the modulation. E minor, ready, go. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Modulation. B minor, ready, go. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, Modulation. C sharp minor, ready, go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Modulation. And G sharp minor. And we finish here. Fantastic. Okay, now flat keys. So we are not stopping there. We're going to be going over and now doing the flat keys. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So because we started where we ended with our G sharp minor over here, we're going to start over here with E flat minor because we don't need to do A flat minor because we just did G sharp minor. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to be starting down on the second line with the E flat minor exercise right here. And we'll do this the exact same way. And notice we're just now going up in the circle of fifths through the flat keys. So this one is nice because this one gets easier as it goes. You're starting with the hardest one, which is the E flat minor, and then you're going to the easiest one at the end, which is our A minor, which we started with on the other one. So these are going to be getting a lot easier as they go along, so that will definitely make this a little bit more, you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel as you go through this one. So, and I'm going to try to read these 6 flats on the accompaniment and make no mistakes, but we'll see how that goes. So we're going to start on the E flat minor. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Up, a little Tetrachord third, B flat minor, modulation, F minor, modulation, C minor, modulation, G minor, modulation, D minor, and last time, modulation, A minor, there we go. So, this can be just a kind of little bit more of a fun way to practice through your minor scales in tetrachord position, which is a really good exercise if you are not totally comfortable with the notes. And I would say that with some of the, especially the sharp and flat keys, those are a little bit tricky. And so I think it can be a really good thing to go through and practice them. And I think with this accompaniment, it can be really nice to hear them sort of in context and sort of makes it a little bit musical. So I think it can kind of help to inform your confidence of what these scales are supposed to sound like. If you sort of have a little bit of that musical underpinning with the harmonies going on, I think that it can just help you sort of figure out like, okay, this is the sound that I'm going for when I'm playing the scales, and just make it a little bit more interesting to practice them instead of just sitting there and playing them through. And also, anytime you have to practice playing along with like an accompaniment, it really forces you to stay on time. So if you think that you know it really well, try it with this, and if you can play it, this is not a super hard rhythm, it's pretty slow, but you might realize like, ooh, I kind of am unsure about what this note is. Maybe I have a little bit more hesitation there than I realized when I was just practicing it alone. So that's just some reasoning behind why this could be a good activity to practice. All right, so over on page 190, we have some technique activities. At the top, they sort of have some like interval playing, which these are also ones that you can use with the minor scales as they're showing up here. And you could transpose those to other minor keys, and then also doing the like the minor chord like and just going up, playing the chords in this sort of arpeggiated pattern, going up through the notes, and then also playing sixths up the scale. And I messed it up. So that's just something that you could do over with these technique activities, again, to just reinforce what you've been learning with the minor scales. So we're going to go ahead and do Little Fantasy Study. This is one of the solo rep options. Just like last semester, these will be options for the exams. So this would be one that would be an opportunity for the 5-week exam. So if we go ahead and look at this piece, we can see that this is a very sort of expected pattern of key areas. So we notice in the beginning a lot of A minor. If we just look at the left hand, we go. E minor, or E major, which would be the 5 of A minor. E, A, E, E, and then we're back to A. So, if you keep those things in mind, it's going to make it a lot easier to navigate the accidentals and sort of keep your key signature a little bit more in focus if you're sort of recognizing that this is a very, very common sort of progression of keys that we have in this piece. And it'll also help you to find these hand positions, because basically with the left hand, we're going back and forth between just an A 5-finger scale and an E major 5-finger scale. That's really it. And if you can find those hand placements, you will be able to play this one super easily. And then the right hand just has a super repetitive pattern. So super simple there. And then down on the sort of middle section, we sort of switch the hands and have the left hand playing. So I will go ahead and play this one through from the beginning at kind of a moderate tempo. You could probably do this one a little bit faster. It says vivace, but I'm going to play it more moderato. This is more allegro than moderato, but that's fine. If you can play an A minor 5-finger scale, you can play like half of this song. So pretty simple. And then we will go ahead and move on to the reading exercises. We've got 4 of them here, and you are going to choose one of these for your assignment this week. Notice 2 of them have a transposition. That is not required for the assignment, but if you want to push yourself, go for it. So I will demonstrate the transposition on the 2 that have it suggested. And for the other 2, I won't, because they don't have a transposition suggested. But I will just go ahead and play through, and you'll choose one of them. And again, transposition is not required, but definitely encouraged if you want to give it a try. So first one, we start in A minor. To G minor. Nope, we're going to start that again. See, I made a classic blunder at the beginning. I was not thinking about my key signature, so I missed that. I think I did the melody wrong at the beginning anyways. I was just like doing something similar, but not quite right. And then I also made the classic mistake of forgetting about the E flat in G minor. Don't make those mistakes. All right, and here is number 2. And here is number 3, first in G minor, and then we'll go to A. And it says to play mysteriously, so I feel like that means a little, like, not too slow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. in A minor. And this one's an easier one, transposition, going from a key with quite a few flats, or not quite a few, but just 2 flats, to no flats. But do definitely keep in mind the little C sharp right there. So that's going to become a D sharp in A minor. Now this next one has some kind of fun mode mixture, which means that in the beginning here it's in minor, and then on the second line it's actually in major. So instead of transposing from like one minor key to the other, this one has a minor key in the beginning, and then we do the parallel major for the second line. So that one's kind of interesting. Pretty nice. I like that one a lot. That sounds really good. Okay, so then we have some ensemble repertoire here. This is the one thing, we did the ensemble project last semester, and I would, in normal times, this is one of the only things that we don't really have the opportunity to do because we're doing the class virtually is, typically in class, if we had an extra 10 or 15 minutes in a class period, we would be able to do some of these ensemble repertoire pieces as a class, which is always really fun. Again, if you are just super ambitious and you really want like a project or something, you could put this together with some friends or classmates, kind of the way that we did in the fall for the project. You can even do it all yourself and do the same way that we did the project, but just recording each part by yourself. So again, if you're really looking to, push your piano skills ahead a little bit and you want to try something that is, a little bit more challenging, this would be really fun. And it's also a great way to practice, if you are interested in putting together music virtually. Some places are doing like virtual choirs, virtual ensembles. It's a great way to, just do that with just yourself and be able to put together sort of a virtual piano ensemble or with you and some friends. So, again, something that we can't really do on a weekly basis, which is sad, but definitely something that I would recommend that if you have just some spare time and you just want some piano activities to fill it, you could try doing this. And that is all we have for this week. So your assignment is pretty simple. You're just going to do the chord progression in those 3 keys, C, G, and D, and then you're going to do one of the reading exercises. So pretty simple, a pretty light week in terms of assignments. But again, I would encourage you, maybe this is a great week to try to play some of these extra things and do some of the stuff that maybe you might not have time for on a busier week with more assignments, but just getting in the habit of playing through some of the additional stuff that our unit has to offer. So as always, let us know if you have any questions or if you want something specific demonstrated that we didn't get to in this video. Of course, just let us know and have a great week. Happy practicing.